Good morning, class. Yesterday we already studied about the animal tissue, epithelial cells. Now we are going to study about the connective tissue. So the connective tissue itself means that the tissue which bind one tissue with the other tissue. It helps in the connectivity. It helps in the connection. So connective tissue is the tissue which bind one tissue with the other tissue, as well as it binds the organ with one another. Means when tissue will get binded, then the organ will also get binded. So connective tissue main purpose is to bind one tissue with the other or bind the organs. So connective tissue we had already studied yesterday in the lecture that it has been classified in three parts: connective tissue proper, supportive tissue, and the fluid connective tissue. Connective tissue proper is further subdivided into three parts: the areolar tissue, adipose tissue, and fibrous connective tissue proper. Coming to the areolar tissue. Areolar tissue is the tissue which is present beneath our skin. Just beneath our skin, the areolar tissue is present. It helps the skin to become elastic and regain its texture. Means if we pull up our skin, then we leave it, then it again get to the resting phase due to the presence of areolar tissue only. And areolar tissue is present just beneath the epidermis of the skin. Coming to the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue has the specialized cells that are called as the fat cells. These fat cells provide the cushions and covering, like when we transport any material like the refrigerator, cooler or anything to any household, then we put the thermocol side by side to prevent any damage, jerk or shock. Similarly, our body organ is also internal organ, so much mechanisms are involved, so it should also be having the padding for the protection of their functioning, as well as for their protection from the jerk and shock. So for that only the adipose tissue has the specialized fat cells which are present surrounding those tissues, just like the padding which are present under the kidney, side of the kidney, and present at the eyeball, the eye socket, the eyeball which is placed in our eye. The eyeball also contains the adipose tissue, the fatty tissue regarding surrounding them to prevent them from any jerk and shock. So we have just learned about the areolar tissue and adipose tissue. Coming to the fibrous tissue. Fibrous tissue are made up of elongated cells. We had studied in the what are in the columnar cells. We had studied the elongated cells. Similarly, the fibrous tissue is also made of elongated cells. Those elongated cells are termed as fibers. The fiber's main purpose is to connect any two organ. Here the two examples of such fibers is tendon and ligament. Tendon is the main purpose. We already have the bone, which is the framework of our body. So when like the biceps muscles, like the thigh muscles, these muscles are also associated with the bone. So these muscles are associated or joined with the bone, which help us the movement of the muscles as well as movement of the bone. So these tendon's main function, tendon is a fibrous tissue which main function is to connect muscles to bone, and ligament is the main function to connect the bone to bone, like our elbow bone with our forearms, like our knee with our thigh bone, like our femur with our thigh bone. So similarly, these bone are connected by the ligament, and the muscles and bone are connected through the tendon. So these are the three types of connective tissue proper. Once again I am revising it. The areolar tissue present beneath the epidermis, which help in the elasticity of the skin, pulling and regaining its shape. Adipose tissue has specialized fat cells which prevent any jerk and shocks and form the padding like the kidney and the eyeball. Fibrous tissue are made up of elongated cells which are termed as the fibers, which are the best example is the tendon and ligament. Tendon connect muscles to bone and ligament connects bone to bone. Coming to the second part, which is the supportive connective tissue. Supportive connective tissue is also subcategorized into two parts: cartilage and bone. Cartilage, we all know the best example is ear pinna, and bone we all know the best example is our leg, our femur bone, our hand, our head, our spinal cord, or just the vertebral column. These all are made up of bone. So cartilage are the non-porous, have thickened matrix. The intercellular spaces, like these the cells of cartilage are here. The intercellular spaces have thickened matrix. This matrix deposition, here you can see the matrix of the cartilage. The matrix deposition is so much dense in this. So thickened matrix. But the cartilage has no blood vessels and nerves. Like here, pinna has no blood vessels and nerves. Here no blood vessels and nerves. Might be the blood is transported here, but the blood vessels or any vessels is not being seen here, or any nerve impulses is not being seen here. So the cartilage, wherever the cartilage is present, there is no blood vessels and nerves are present, and thickened substance is thickened matrix, means thick matrix is being present here, semi-transparent and elastic. Elastic, we all have seen that it is elastic in nature. It could be moving freely. Now, where it is present, the tip of the nose, the external ear, even though the trachea, the windpipe is also carrying the cartilage which is movable. As our lungs are just in flattened, as well as just when we breathe, then it takes the process, no, just is flattened, then it get relaxed, then it flattened, then it get relaxed. So that is only due to the cartilage arrangement there. So what is cartilage? Cartilage is non-porous, no blood vessels and nerves is present. Here the intercellular matrix is totally thick. It is present in the tip of the nose, external ear, and all the things. And this is the diagram of cartilage. The intercellular matrix is being represented, and the cells of cartilage is being represented. Now coming to the second part of the supportive connective tissue is the bone. Bone is porous. It was non-porous, but bone was porous. Good supply of blood vessels and nerves is there. And our bone, the good supply, and in many cases we see now that his nerve has been get extended, and we go to the doctor for the treatment because it is associated with the bone only. The bone is a porous material, made up of porous material. Good supply of blood vessels and nerve impulses and blood vessels is totally present here. It is present here. Consists both living. Here the living tissues are also present. That is called as osteoblast, and the rigid mass of inorganic salts also. Inorganic salts are also present beneath the bone. So what is the bone? Bone is the porous, which has the good supply of blood vessels and nerve, and it consists of the living osteoblast and rigid mass of inorganic salt. So this is the category of bone. Here the diagram of bone has been represented. The ring, concentric ring-like appearance is there. This concentric ring is the inner concentric ring is called as the canal present in the blue color. It is called as the Haversian canal, and the two connected these concentric rings. If we are taking a two in a proper, then we will symbolize the connective lamella. And the inside, in between those connective lamella, there is present the matrix, and this is the bone cell, the single cell. This is the hair-like structure which is being represented like here. This is the here the bone cell is present, which is elongated form. We have shown like just like the cell which have some impulses and nerves carrying. Then, as we all had told that we have the blood supply and the nerve impulses are there, so the nerve impulses is being represented here. So this is the supportive connective tissue, which is also of two types, cartilage and bone. Now coming to the fluid connective tissue, last part of the connective tissue, blood and lymph. There are the two parts of the fluid connective tissue, blood and lymph. Blood is, we all know that blood is red in color and all things. Blood has two parts. One is the liquid part and the other is the cellular part. The liquid part of the blood is called as the plasma. The liquid part of the blood is called as the plasma, which is yellow in color. And the cellular part consists of RBC, the red blood cells, which provide oxygen to our body and transport oxygen as well as mineral to our body. Red blood cells, which is present, the hemoglobin is present, which gives its characteristics, the red blood cells, heme protein, and the WBC. WBC means white blood cells, which prevent our body from any foreign diseases, fight with it, provide immunity. And platelets. Platelets means thrombocytes, which is present when we get a cut mark, then the blood clot is being formed due to the presence of platelets only. It is the mechanism which we will study in the higher standard. The thrombokinase and all activities is there, where the prothrombin activate and thrombokinase it help to form the clot. That is the mechanism which we will study later on in the next classes also. So blood is the liquid part, the two part of the fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue means the fluid which connect organ to organ or tissue to tissue. So here there are two types of their blood and lymph. Coming to the blood had also categorized the two part. Liquid part is called plasma, and the cellular part contains RBC, WBC, and platelets. Coming to the lymph is the fluid surrounding the body cells. All the body cells which are present in our body, the fluid which are surrounding all those body cells, like our leg, like our spleen, all the things, like our this tonsils and all. The fluid which is floating outside that organ or particular cell is called as the lymph. The lymph, how the lymph come out? When our blood vessels ooze, just the blood vessels, ooze means just if the blood vessel is there. If we just soak water in any foam and then we squeeze out that foam, then water pull out of that foam. Similar way the blood vessels ooze out, the lymph. Lymph is being oozed out like the foam ooze out the water when it absorbs it. Similar way the lymph is being oozed out the blood vessels. In the case, and it surround the body, all the organs in the body being surrounded by this lymph. And this lymph contains no blood, no any RBC, it doesn't contain any RBC, it contains only WBC, it contains provide immunity to our body. So we already studied about the fluid connective tissue also, and we had covered these three topics of the connective tissue. The connective tissue is being categorized into three parts: connective tissue proper, supportive connective tissue, and fluid connective tissue. Connective tissue proper is being categorized into sub three parts: areolar tissue, adipose tissue, and fibrous connective tissue. And supportive connective tissue is of two types: cartilage and bone. And fluid connective tissue is of other two types: blood and lymph. In blood, the liquid part is called plasma, and the cellular part is called RBC, WBC, and platelet. And lymph is the fluid surrounding the body cells which moves out from the blood vessels, and its main function is it's having only WBC cells, so its main function is to provide immunity and to fight against foreign elements which are just attacking to our body. And this is the diagram of the bone, and this is the diagram of cartilage, which is elastic in nature. It has the blood supply, it doesn't have the blood supply, it present in the tip of nose. It is present just we are seeing that the framework of the body is being comprised of the bone, and we are already studying about the areola present in the beneath the skin, adipose the fat cell, and the fibrous the tendon in the ligament. And these are about the connective tissue of the animal tissue. In the next lecture, we will study about the muscular tissue, in which we already study about striated, unstriated, and cardiac muscles, and nervous tissue. So I am not enlarging the lecture so that you could go step by step. In the next lecture, I will explain you about the muscular tissue and nervous tissue. And then the chapter will be completed. Try to complete all the exercises related to these questions so that I want a complete copy and you also get the revision, because these all things are the basic material which will prepare you for the further examination in the whether we will go for any biological examination related to this field. So it is very essential. Okay, thank you.